Mary and Mark had been dreaming about their wedding day for as long as they could remember. They had met in college, sharing a serendipitous encounter at a mutual friend's party. From that moment, they knew they were meant to be together. Their love story was filled with laughter, shared adventures, and countless memories, all leading up to this pivotal moment in their lives. As they delved into wedding planning, excitement filled their days. Every detail, from the venue to the flowers, was meticulously chosen to reflect their unique journey and the deep love they had for each other. Emily, with her creative flair, envisioned a ceremony that was both elegant and intimate, where every guest could feel the warmth and joy of their love. One sunny afternoon, Mary and Mark sat on their cozy living room couch, surrounded by wedding magazines and Pinterest boards. They were selecting the soundtrack for their special day. The first dance song was especially important to them. It had to be perfect, a melody that would encapsulate the essence of their relationship and set the tone for the rest of their lives together. Mark suggested a few classic love songs, while Mary hummed a few modern hits. Nothing seemed quite right until, almost magically, Come What May from the Moulin Rouge movie played on their playlist. As the soulful lyrics and haunting melody filled the room, Mary's eyes met Mark's, and they both knew this was it. This song felt like their love, timeless, enduring, and resilient. They played the song again, this time standing up and dancing together in their living room. With each step, they envisioned their wedding day, the smiles on their guests' faces, the twinkle lights above, and the feeling of holding each other close, surrounded by love and support. In that moment, it wasn't just about choosing a song. It was about choosing a memory, a promise, and a commitment to each other. Mary and Mark felt a surge of joy and anticipation. They knew their wedding would be a beautiful celebration of their journey, filled with laughter, tears, and above all, love. As they finalized their choice, they couldn't wait to share this magical day with their family and friends. Little did they know, this joyous occasion would soon bring to light deeper emotions and a challenging decision that would test their empathy and understanding. As Mary and Mark moved closer to their big day, the excitement in their hearts was palpable. They had checked off most of the items on their wedding to-do list, but one crucial detail remained: selecting the perfect song for their first dance. This wasn't just any song. It needed to encapsulate their love story, their journey, and the dreams they held for their future together. One crisp Saturday morning, they decided to make a day of it. They brewed a pot of coffee, settled into their cozy living room, and began sifting through their favorite playlists. The sun streamed through the windows, casting a warm glow that mirrored the anticipation they felt inside. Mary and Mark shared a passion for music, and their tastes were eclectic. They loved everything from classic rock to contemporary ballads. As they flipped through song after song, memories of their time together flooded back. There was the song playing during their first road trip, the tune they danced to at their best friend's wedding, and the melody that played softly in the background during their quiet Sunday mornings. But none of these songs seemed quite right for their first dance. They needed something special, something that felt uniquely theirs. They took a break, laughing and reminiscing about the funny moments and mishaps they'd experienced together. Then, almost as if by fate, Come What May from the Moulin Rouge movie started playing. The room fell silent as the opening notes filled the air. Mary's eyes widened, and she glanced at Mark, who had the same look of recognition. They both knew this song. Its melody, its lyrics. It was like hearing their love story set to music. The song spoke of an enduring love, a promise to stay together through thick and thin, no matter what life threw their way. As the chorus swelled, Mary and Mark stood up and began to dance, swaying to the rhythm. They moved in perfect harmony, each step echoing the deep connection they shared. The world outside disappeared. It was just the two of them, wrapped in the magic of the moment. The lyrics resonated with them. Come what may, I will love you until my dying day. Tears welled up in Mary's eyes as she rested her head on Mark's shoulder. She felt the sincerity of the song in every fiber of her being. Mark held her close, his heart full of love and determination. This was the song that would forever mark the beginning of their journey as husband and wife. They played it again, dancing and dreaming about their wedding day. They imagined their guests watching them with smiles, feeling the love that radiated between them. It wasn't just a song. It was a vow, a commitment to face the future together, no matter the challenges. By the time the song ended, they were both convinced. Come What May was the perfect choice. It was a song that told their story, celebrated their love, and set the tone for their future. Mary and Mark knew that when they danced to it on their wedding day, it would be a moment they would cherish forever. As they finalized their decision, they felt a sense of completeness. They had found their song, a beautiful reflection of their unwavering love. They couldn't wait to share this intimate moment with their loved ones, knowing it would be one of the most magical highlights of their special day. As the wedding day approached, Mary and Mark's excitement continued to build. They eagerly shared their plans with family and friends, each detail adding to the anticipation. When Mary told her stepsister, Jennifer, about their choice for the first dance song, she expected a joyful reaction. Instead, she saw Jennifer's face fall, a shadow of pain crossing her eyes. Mary was taken aback. She had always been close to Jennifer, who had supported her through thick and thin. Curious and concerned, Mary asked Jennifer what was wrong. Jennifer hesitated, her eyes filling with tears, before she quietly revealed the depth of her anguish. "Emily," Jennifer began, her voice trembling, "that song, Come What May, it means the world to me. Jimmy and I, it was our song." Mary's heart sank as Jennifer recounted the memories intertwined with that melody. Jennifer and Jimmy had met while watching Moulin Rouge, their hearts connecting over the shared experience. Their first date, filled with laughter and romance, had been to the soundtrack of that very song. It became their anthem, symbolizing their love and dreams for the future. Jennifer continued, her voice breaking. "We even danced to it at our wedding, Emily. It was the happiest day of my life. But then, the accident happened." Mary listened, her chest tightening with empathy. Jimmy's car accident had been devastating. The vibrant man who had filled Jennifer's life with joy was now a shadow of his former self, lost in a fog of traumatic brain injuries. He resided in a specialized nursing home, and while Jennifer had bravely moved forward, the pain of losing him still lingered. "Every time I hear that song," Jennifer confessed, tears streaming down her face, "it takes me back to that life we had, the dreams we shared. It's like a dagger to my heart, reminding me of everything I lost." Mary felt a wave of guilt wash over her. She had chosen the song for its beauty and significance to her and Mark, never imagining it could cause such pain. She reached out to Jennifer, taking her hand. "I'm so sorry, Jennifer," Mary whispered. "I had no idea it meant so much to you. I never wanted to hurt you." Jennifer nodded, trying to compose herself. "I understand, Emily. It's a beautiful song, and it's your wedding. But I had to tell you how much it affects me. I hope you can understand why I'm struggling with it." Mary felt torn. The song held deep meaning for her and Mark, symbolizing their commitment to each other. But Jennifer's pain was undeniable. The memory of her own joy was now inextricably linked to Jennifer's heartache. Mark joined the conversation, sensing the gravity of the moment. He listened as Mary explained Jennifer's connection to the song. Together, they weighed their options, realizing they faced a difficult decision. As the days passed, the issue lingered in Mary's mind. She and Mark had to balance their love and happiness with the empathy they felt for Jennifer. The joyous anticipation of their wedding was now tinged with the awareness of the potential hurt it could cause someone they cared deeply about. In those quiet moments of reflection, Mary understood that weddings were not just about the couple, but about the family and friends who shared in their journey. The first dance song was more than a choice. It was a testament to the relationships and emotions that intertwined their lives. Mary and Mark knew they had to decide. One that honored their love but also respected Jennifer's feelings. The path forward was not clear, but their commitment to understanding and compassion would guide them through this sensitive issue. As Mary and Mark grappled with the sensitivity of their song choice, Jennifer's story weighed heavily on their minds. The pain etched in Jennifer's eyes when she spoke of Come What May was haunting. It wasn't just a song for her. It was the soundtrack to her most cherished and heartbreaking moments. Jennifer and Jimmy's love story had been a whirlwind romance. They first locked eyes in a dimly lit theater, both captivated by the emotional journey of Moulin Rouge. When Come What May played during the film, it felt like the universe was singing directly to them. They left the theater that night with stars in their eyes, their hearts brimming with the possibility of forever. Their first date was just as magical. They walked hand in hand to a quaint little restaurant that seemed to glow with a warm, inviting light. As they entered, the familiar strains of Come What May filled the room. They laughed at the coincidence, taking it as a sign that their love was meant to be. They talked for hours, the song becoming a silent witness to their growing connection. When Jimmy proposed, he did so with the song softly playing in the background, a promise woven into every note. Their wedding day was a beautiful, sunlit affair, with Come What May playing as they danced for the first time as husband and wife. It was a moment of pure joy, their hearts entwined, their future bright and full of promise. But fate had other plans. Just a few months after their wedding, Jimmy was involved in a devastating car accident. The vibrant man who had once filled Jennifer's life with laughter and love was now confined to a hospital bed, his brain damaged beyond repair. The dreams they had shared were shattered in an instant, replaced by a relentless cycle of hospital visits and heartache. Jimmy's condition was severe. He could no longer recognize Jennifer, nor remember the life they had built together. He lived in a specialized nursing home, his days a blur of confusion and silence. Yet Jennifer couldn't let go. She visited him regularly, holding on to the hope that somewhere deep inside, he still remembered her. On one particularly difficult visit, Jennifer sang "Come What May" to Jimmy. As the familiar melody filled the room, something remarkable happened. Jimmy's eyes, usually distant and unfocused, seemed to clear for a brief moment. He looked at Jennifer with a flicker of recognition, a fleeting but powerful connection that broke her heart and healed it all at once. That song, "Come What May," was not just a reminder of their love, but also a bridge to the past, to the life they had lost. For Jennifer, it was impossible to hear it without reliving every joyful and painful memory. The song was a portal to a world that no longer existed, a constant reminder of the love and life she had lost in the blink of an eye. As Mary listened to Jennifer recount these memories, she felt a profound sense of empathy. The song that she had chosen to celebrate her own love was also the soundtrack to her stepsister's greatest tragedy. It was a realization that weighed heavily on her heart. How could she, in good conscience, use a song that would cause Jennifer such pain? The dilemma was more complex than Mary had ever imagined. It wasn't just about a song. It was about honoring the deep, unspoken bonds of family and love. She and Mark had to decide whether their happiness could coexist with Jennifer's sorrow, and what compromises they were willing to make for the sake of compassion and understanding. In those quiet moments of reflection, Mary realized that the true test of love wasn't just about the joy it brought, but also about the empathy and sacrifices made along the way. The memories Jennifer shared were a powerful testament to the enduring nature of love, even in the face of unimaginable loss. And it was this understanding that would guide Mary and Mark as they navigated this deeply emotional and complex situation. Mary couldn't shake the memories Jennifer had shared. As she delved deeper into the emotional landscape of her stepsister's past, she began to see "Come What May" not just as a song, but as a living, breathing testament to a love story that was both beautiful and tragic. Jennifer's wedding day had been nothing short of magical. It was a crisp autumn afternoon, the kind where the leaves dance in shades of amber and gold. The ceremony took place in a charming, rustic barn draped in twinkling fairy lights and adorned with wildflowers. Every detail had been meticulously planned to create an atmosphere of warmth and intimacy. As the guests settled into their seats, the anticipation was palpable. Jennifer stood at the entrance, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and nerves. She wore a vintage lace gown that had been passed down through generations, a symbol of enduring love and tradition. Her eyes sparkled with happiness as she glanced at Jimmy, waiting at the altar with a look of pure adoration. The ceremony began, and as Jennifer walked down the aisle, time seemed to stand still. The air was filled with the soft hum of string instruments playing a familiar melody. As they exchanged vows, their voices trembled with emotion, each word a promise of unwavering commitment and love. When the officiant pronounced them husband and wife, the room erupted in applause. Jennifer and Jimmy's faces lit up with joy as they shared their first kiss as a married couple. It was a moment of pure bliss, captured in the hearts of everyone present. But the true magic of the day was yet to come. As the evening sky turned to dusk, the reception began. The barn was transformed into a dance floor, with twinkling lights casting a romantic glow. The guests mingled, laughter and conversation filling the air, but everyone was waiting for the highlight of the night, the first dance. Jimmy led Jennifer to the center of the dance floor, their hands clasped tightly together. As the opening notes of "Come What May" began to play, a hush fell over the crowd. The song had been their anthem from the beginning, a melodic thread that wove their love story together. They moved in perfect harmony, swaying to the rhythm, their eyes locked in an unspoken conversation. The lyrics echoed their vows, a pledge to love each other through all of life's trials and tribulations. It was as if the song had been written just for them, a testament to their enduring bond. As they danced, Jennifer felt the world fade away. It was just her and Jimmy, wrapped in the cocoon of their love. The guests watched in awe, some with tears in their eyes, moved by the palpable connection between the newlyweds. It was a moment of profound beauty, where love transcended the ordinary and became something extraordinary. After the dance, the celebration continued with joyous abandon. Friends and family joined the couple on the dance floor, creating memories that would last a lifetime. The night was filled with laughter, toasts, and heartfelt speeches, each word a tribute to the love that Jennifer and Jimmy shared. But as the night drew to a close, Jennifer and Jimmy took a moment to themselves. They stepped outside, the cool night air a welcome contrast to the warmth inside. They stood under a canopy of stars, the silence filled with the distant hum of music. Jimmy pulled Jennifer close, his arms wrapped around her, and they swayed gently to the echo of "Come What May" still playing in their hearts. It was in that quiet moment that Jennifer realized the true depth of their connection. The song wasn't just a melody. It was a promise, a symbol of their love that would endure no matter what challenges lay ahead. Little did they know, the challenges would come sooner than they ever imagined. Emily, hearing the vivid details of Jennifer's wedding, felt a deep sense of empathy. She understood now why the song was so significant. It wasn't just about a wedding day. It was about the love that Jennifer and Jimmy had shared, a love that had been tested in the most unimaginable ways. It was a reminder of the joy they had experienced and the heartache that followed. This newfound understanding added weight to Mary's decision. The wedding connection was more than a memory. It was a living testament to love and loss, joy and sorrow. And as Mary and Mark moved forward with their wedding plans, they carried this understanding with them, navigating the delicate balance between their happiness and the empathy they felt for Jennifer's pain. Just as the honeymoon glow began to settle into the rhythm of everyday life, tragedy struck, turning Jennifer and Jimmy's love story into a heart-wrenching tale of loss and resilience. It was a rainy Sunday afternoon. Jimmy had gone out to pick up a few groceries while Jennifer stayed home, preparing a cozy dinner. She hummed "Come What May" softly to herself, the familiar melody a comforting backdrop to her domestic bliss. She didn't know that in a matter of moments, her entire world would be shattered. The phone call came like a bolt of lightning, piercing the quietude of their home. Jennifer answered, expecting to hear Jimmy's voice on the other end. Instead, she was met with the grave tone of a paramedic. There had been an accident. Jimmy's car had been hit by a truck on a slippery road, and the situation was dire. Her heart pounded as she rushed to the hospital, every second stretching into an eternity. The sterile hallways seemed endless as she was led to the emergency room, her mind racing with fear and disbelief. When she finally saw Jimmy, her knees buckled. The man she loved, the man she had danced with just months before, lay unresponsive, surrounded by a flurry of medical staff. The doctors explained that Jimmy had sustained severe traumatic brain injuries. The prognosis was grim. He was in a coma, and if he woke up, he might never be the same. Jennifer felt as if the ground had been pulled out from beneath her. Their dreams, their future, had been ripped away in an instant. Days turned into weeks, and Jennifer remained by Jimmy's side, hoping for a miracle. She spoke to him, held his hand, and played "Come What May" on a loop, believing it might reach him somehow. The song, once a symbol of their joyous union, now echoed through the sterile hospital room, a haunting reminder of the life they had lost. Then, one day, Jimmy opened his eyes. For a fleeting moment, Jennifer felt a surge of hope, but it quickly became clear that the man who woke up was not the same. Jimmy's memory was fragmented, his recognition sporadic. He struggled to remember basic things, and most devastatingly, he often didn't recognize Jennifer. The days that followed were filled with painful challenges. Jimmy's physical recovery was slow, but it was his cognitive impairment that was the most heartbreaking. He would have moments of clarity, brief glimpses of the man he once was, but they were fleeting. Jennifer's heart broke each time she saw confusion cloud his eyes when he looked at her. The decision to move Jimmy to a specialized nursing home was agonizing. Jennifer visited him regularly, each visit a bittersweet blend of love and sorrow. She would sit by his bedside, holding his hand and singing "Come What May," hoping to spark some recognition, some connection. Sometimes, Jimmy's eyes would light up for a moment, a glimmer of the man she knew and loved. Those moments, though rare, were enough to keep her going. Jennifer's life became a series of routines centered around these visits. She held onto the fragments of their past, trying to piece together a semblance of normalcy. The song that once brought them joy now carried the weight of all they had lost. It was a lifeline, a tether to the happier times, even as it underscored the tragedy of their present. For Emily, hearing this part of Jennifer's story was profoundly moving. She could hardly imagine the depth of her stepsister's pain. The song "Come What May" was not just tied to beautiful memories. It was also irrevocably linked to the most traumatic event of Jennifer's life. Each note, each lyric, was a reminder of what could have been and what was irrevocably changed. Understanding the full extent of Jennifer's loss added a new layer of complexity to Mary's dilemma. The tragedy that befell Jennifer and Jimmy was a powerful testament to the fragility of life and the enduring nature of love. Mary now saw the song as more than a melody for her wedding. It was a symbol of love's triumphs and its devastating losses. As she held this knowledge close, Mary knew that the decision about the first dance song was not just a matter of preference. It was a choice that would resonate deeply within the hearts of those she loved, echoing the complexities of their intertwined lives. Life after the accident was a series of adjustments for Jennifer. Each day began with the hope that today might be the day Jimmy would remember, that the man she loved would look at her with recognition in his eyes. But more often than not, she was met with the blank stare of a stranger. Jennifer's routine revolved around the nursing home. Every morning, she would prepare herself mentally for the visit, steeling her heart against the possible disappointments while clinging to the sliver of hope that kept her going. She would pack a bag with Jimmy's favorite things, a book he used to love, photographs from their happier days, and always a small speaker to play "Come What May." Entering the nursing home was always bittersweet. The smell of antiseptic and the quiet hum of medical equipment served as constant reminders of the stark reality they lived in. Jennifer would walk down the familiar hallways, her footsteps echoing her resolve. She would greet the nurses, who had become like family, and finally reach Jimmy's room. Jimmy would often be sitting by the window, gazing at the world outside with a distant look in his eyes. Jennifer would take a deep breath, plastering on a brave smile as she approached him. "Hi, Jimmy," she would say softly, taking his hand in hers. Some days, he would smile back, a fleeting spark of the man she knew. Other days, he would look right through her, lost in his own world. Despite the pain, Jennifer never missed a visit. She would read to him from his favorite book, her voice steady even when her heart wavered. She would show him pictures from their past, hoping to stir a memory, a flicker of recognition. But it was the music that seemed to have the most profound effect. Jennifer would play "Come What May" and sing along, her voice filled with emotion. As the familiar notes filled the room, she would watch Jimmy closely. Sometimes his eyes would light up, and for a brief moment, it was as if he was there with her, fully present. Those moments, though fleeting, were enough to keep Jennifer going. They were the lifelines she clung to in a sea of heartache. Outside the nursing home, Jennifer's life had changed drastically. She had to learn to navigate a world without Jimmy by her side. Their home, once filled with laughter and love, felt empty and cold. Every corner held a memory, a reminder of the life they had planned together. She found solace in small routines, tending to their garden, keeping the house as Jimmy liked it, and maintaining connections with family and friends. Jennifer's friends and family tried to support her, but it was hard for them to fully understand the depth of her grief. They saw her strength and resilience, but they couldn't see the quiet moments of despair, the nights she spent crying herself to sleep, clutching Jimmy's pillow. They couldn't feel the hollow ache in her chest every time she woke up alone. Despite the heartache, Jennifer refused to let go of the love she had for Jimmy. She believed that love was more than memories. It was a living force that transcended time and circumstances. She held on to the belief that, somewhere deep inside, Jimmy could still feel her love. It was this belief that gave her the strength to face each day. Jennifer's unwavering dedication to Jimmy was a testament to the power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. She continued to visit him, to sing to him, to love him, even when the world seemed to have moved on. Her love was constant, enduring, and unbreakable. Emily, witnessing Jennifer's daily struggle and unyielding love, was profoundly moved. She realized that living with heartache didn't mean giving up. It meant finding strength in the midst of pain, holding on to love even when it seemed impossible. Jennifer's story was a poignant reminder of the enduring power of love, and it added a new layer of understanding to Mary's own life and choices. As Mary and Mark moved forward with their wedding plans, they carried Jennifer's story with them. It wasn't just about choosing a song. It was about honoring the love and resilience that had brought them to this moment. They knew that their wedding would be a celebration of their own journey, but also a tribute to the enduring power of love in all its forms. One evening, as the wedding day drew closer, Mary invited Jennifer over for dinner. Mary had been wrestling with the decision about the first dance song and knew she needed to talk to Jennifer directly. The air was filled with the comforting aroma of Mary's homemade lasagna, and the table was set with care, a reflection of the love and respect Mary felt for her stepsister. As they sat down to eat, Mary could see the strain in Jennifer's eyes, the unspoken weight of her memories and pain. They chatted about light topics at first, work, mutual friends, and the upcoming wedding. But the unspoken tension hovered in the background. Mary knew she had to address the elephant in the room. After they finished their meal, Mary poured them both a glass of wine and led Jennifer to the living room. They settled on the couch, the soft glow of the fireplace adding a cozy warmth to the room. Mary took a deep breath, her heart pounding. "Jennifer," she began softly, "there's something I need to talk to you about. It's about the song Mark and I chose for our first dance." Jennifer's eyes flickered with a mix of curiosity and apprehension. She nodded, encouraging Mary to continue. "We chose Come What May," Mary said, her voice gentle. "We didn't know how much it meant to you until recently, and I wanted to hear from you directly about how you feel." Jennifer's eyes filled with tears. She took a moment to gather her thoughts before speaking, her voice trembling with emotion. "Emily, that song is everything to me," she began. "Jimmy and I shared so many beautiful moments with it. Our first date, our wedding, the times I sang it to him when he was in the hospital. It's a part of our story, a reminder of the love we had and the life we lost." Mary reached out and took Jennifer's hand, her own eyes brimming with tears. "I'm so sorry, Jennifer. I never wanted to cause you pain. When we chose the song, it was because it felt like it captured our love perfectly. But now, knowing what it means to you, I feel torn." Jennifer squeezed Mary's hand, a sad smile playing on her lips. "I understand, Emily. It's a beautiful song, and it's your wedding. I don't want to take that away from you. But hearing it brings back so many memories, and it's incredibly painful. Every time I hear it, I'm taken back to the life I had with Jimmy and to the tragedy of losing him." The room was thick with emotion, the air heavy with the weight of Jennifer's words. Mary could feel the depth of her stepsister's heartache, the lingering sorrow that seemed to seep into every corner of her being. She knew that changing the song would be a small sacrifice compared to the pain Jennifer had endured. "Jennifer," Mary said softly, her voice steady with resolve, "your feelings matter to me. Mark and I will find a new song. Our wedding day should be a joyous occasion for everyone, and we want you to be a part of that joy, not reminded of your pain." Tears streamed down Jennifer's face as she pulled Mary into a tight embrace. "Thank you, Emily," she whispered. "That means more to me than you can ever know." In that moment, the bond between the sisters strengthened. They shared a quiet understanding, an unspoken promise to support each other through the highs and lows of life. For Emily, the decision to change the song wasn't just about compassion. It was about honoring the love and resilience that defined their family. As they sat together, the warmth of the fire enveloping them, they talked about new possibilities for the first dance. They laughed and cried, sharing memories and stories, weaving together the threads of their lives into a beautiful tapestry of love and support. Mary realized that this heartfelt request had brought them closer, deepening their connection and understanding of each other. It was a reminder that weddings were not just about the couple, but about the family and friends who shared in their journey. And in honoring Jennifer's request, Mary and Mark were making a choice that reflected the true essence of their love, a love built on empathy, compassion, and unwavering support. This moment of heartfelt honesty and understanding would be a cornerstone of their wedding day, a testament to the strength of family bonds and the power of love to heal even the deepest wounds. And as they moved forward with their plans, Mary felt a renewed sense of joy and purpose, knowing that their wedding would be a celebration of love in all its beautiful, complex forms. In the quiet aftermath of her conversation with Jennifer, Mary found herself in a whirlwind of conflicting emotions. The decision to change the first dance song weighed heavily on her mind, filling her with a sense of urgency and uncertainty. The choice between honoring her own love story and respecting Jennifer's profound pain was not one she took lightly. As the days passed, Mary's thoughts were consumed by the dilemma. She would often find herself lost in contemplation, her mind drifting back to the memories Jennifer had shared, the haunting sadness in her eyes. She couldn't shake the feeling that her decision would have lasting repercussions, not just for her wedding day, but for her relationship with her stepsister. Mary confided in Mark, who listened patiently, his brow furrowed in concern. He understood the significance of the song for both their relationship and Jennifer's past, and he knew how deeply it troubled Emily. "Mark," Mary said one evening as they sat on their porch, the setting sun casting a warm glow over their home, "I feel like I'm being torn in two directions. I want our wedding day to be perfect, but I can't ignore Jennifer's pain. How can we celebrate our love knowing that our song will bring her so much heartache?" Mark took her hand in his touch gentle and reassuring. "Emily, Our wedding day is about celebrating our love, but it's also about the people we care about. If changing the song will ease Jennifer's pain and make her feel more comfortable, then we should do it. Our love isn't tied to one song. It's in every moment we share. His words resonated with Emily, but the decision was still difficult. The song had come to symbolize so much for them. Their commitment, their resilience, their journey together. Letting it go felt like losing a piece of their story. Mary sought advice from her closest friends and family, hoping for clarity. Her mother, a pillar of wisdom and strength, offered a comforting perspective. "Sweetheart," she said, wrapping Mari in a warm hug, "weddings are about more than just the couple. They're about the people who have been there through thick and thin. If changing the song means honoring Jennifer's journey and making her feel included, then it's a small sacrifice for a greater good." Mary nodded, absorbing her mother's words. She knew deep down that her mother was right, but the conflict still gnawed at her. She spent hours listening to music, searching for a song that could replace "Come What May," something that could capture the essence of their love without causing Jennifer pain. One night, as she lay in bed, unable to sleep, Mary decided to write in her journal. It was a habit she had maintained since she was a child, a way to process her thoughts and emotions. She poured her heart onto the pages, detailing her dilemma, her love for Mark, and her compassion for Jennifer. As she wrote, she felt a sense of clarity begin to emerge. Mary realized that her love for Mark was not confined to one song. Their love was evident in the way they supported each other, the way they laughed together, the way they navigated life's challenges hand in hand. The song was a symbol, but their love was so much more. With renewed determination, Mary decided to have another conversation with Jennifer. She wanted to involve her stepsister in finding a new song, one that could represent both their love and the compassion they felt for her. It was a way to honor the past while looking forward to the future. The next day, Mary invited Jennifer over again. They sat together in Mary's living room, surrounded by stacks of music albums and a laptop open to countless playlists. "Jennifer," Mary began, her voice filled with warmth, "I've been thinking a lot about what you shared with me. I understand how much Come What May means to you, and I don't want our wedding to be a source of pain for you. I'd love for us to find a new song together, something that captures the spirit of our wedding but also respects your memories." Jennifer's eyes glistened with tears, and she nodded gratefully. "Thank you, Emily. That means so much to me. I'd be honored to help you find the perfect song." Together, they listened to dozens of songs, laughing and reminiscing about old memories. They found a new song that felt just right, a beautiful melody that captured the joy and promise of Mary and Mark's love story. Mary's dilemma had transformed into an opportunity for deeper connection and understanding. By choosing empathy and compassion, she not only honored her love for Mark, but also strengthened the bond with her stepsister. It was a reminder that love, in all its forms, required sacrifice and understanding, and it was these qualities that made their wedding day truly special. Mary and Mark's wedding preparations had always been a collective family affair, filled with laughter, love, and countless opinions from those closest to them. But as Mary grappled with the decision about their first dance song, she realized she needed the perspectives of those she trusted most. She needed to hear their thoughts, hoping they could help her navigate this emotional dilemma. One sunny afternoon, Mary organized a small gathering at her parents' house. The backyard was alive with the sounds of nature, the gentle breeze rustling the leaves, and the soft chirping of birds providing a serene backdrop. Family and close friends arrived, bringing with them an air of anticipation and warmth. As everyone settled in with glasses of lemonade and plates of her mother's famous chocolate chip cookies, Mary took a deep breath and began to share her story. She spoke about the significance of Come What May for both her and Mark, and how they had chosen it as their first dance song without knowing the profound impact it had on Jennifer. The group listened intently, their expressions a mix of empathy and contemplation. When Mary finished, there was a moment of silence, the weight of her words hanging in the air. Her best friend, Lily, was the first to speak. "Emily, I can see how much this song means to you and Mark. But knowing what it represents for Jennifer, I think you're doing the right thing by considering her feelings. It's a tough decision, but it shows how much you care." Mary's older brother, Michael, nodded in agreement. "I remember Jennifer's wedding and how happy she was. The accident changed everything for her. If changing the song can bring her some peace, it's worth it." Mary's father, a man of few words but deep wisdom, spoke next. "Emily, love is about more than just grand gestures. Sometimes, the small sacrifices we make for those we care about mean the most. You've always been someone who thinks about others, and this is no different. I'm proud of you for putting Jennifer's feelings into consideration." Her mother, who had been quietly listening, placed a comforting hand on Mary's shoulder. "Sweetheart, your wedding day will be beautiful no matter what song you choose. It's about the love you and Mark share, and that will shine through in every moment. Let's find a song that can make new memories for you while respecting the old ones for Jennifer." Mary felt a wave of relief wash over her. Hearing the support and understanding from her family and friends helped to clarify her decision. She realized that she wasn't alone in this. Her loved ones were with her every step of the way, providing the strength and reassurance she needed. One by one, others began to offer their thoughts. Her cousin, Rachel, suggested they compile a list of potential songs that held similar meaning but didn't carry the same emotional weight for Jennifer. Mary's aunt, a music enthusiast, offered to help create a playlist that they could all listen to and vote on. Mark's parents, who had been quietly observing, finally spoke. "Emily, we know how much you and Mark love Come What May. But we also see the love and respect you have for Jennifer. We support whatever decision you make because it's clear you're making it with a full heart." The conversation flowed naturally, filled with laughter, memories, and a deep sense of camaraderie. They shared stories of weddings past, the funny moments, the emotional ones, and the songs that had made those days unforgettable. It was a reminder of the collective love and support that surrounded Mary and Mark as they embarked on this new chapter of their lives. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the gathering, Mary felt a renewed sense of clarity and purpose. She knew that changing the song was the right decision, not just for Jennifer, but for the entire family. It was a testament to the love and empathy that defined their relationships. Mary looked around at the faces of those she loved, feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Their input had been invaluable, and their support unwavering. She realized that the true beauty of her wedding day would lie in the connections and the love that bound them all together. With her heart full and her mind at ease, Mary stood up and raised her glass. "To family and friends," she said, her voice steady and filled with emotion. "Thank you for your love, your wisdom, and your support. Mark and I are so grateful to have you all in our lives. Here's to making new memories and celebrating love in all its forms." The group raised their glasses in a heartfelt toast, the clinking of glass a harmonious symphony of unity and love. In that moment, Mary knew that her wedding day would be everything she had dreamed of and more, because it would be a celebration not just of her love for Mark, but of the love that surrounded them both. In the days following the heartfelt family gathering, Mary felt an underlying tension she couldn't easily shake. Despite the unanimous support from her family and friends, the emotional weight of the decision to change the first dance song continued to gnaw at her. The strain was palpable, seeping into her daily life and casting a shadow over what should have been the happiest time of her life. Mary found herself distracted at work, her thoughts constantly drifting back to the wedding. Her colleagues noticed her uncharacteristic quietness and furrowed brows, but were unsure how to help. During lunch breaks, she would absent-mindedly pick at her food, her mind replaying the conversation with Jennifer and the subsequent discussions with her family. The wedding planning, which had once brought her so much joy, now felt like a series of emotionally charged decisions. At home, the strain was even more evident. Mary and Mark, who had always prided themselves on their open and loving communication, found themselves having difficult conversations. Mark understood the significance of the situation and was supportive, but the tension was undeniable. One evening, as they sat together on the couch, Mark turned to Emily, his eyes filled with concern. I can see how much this is affecting you. We need to talk about it." Mary sighed, her shoulders slumping under the weight of her thoughts. "I know, Mark. I can't stop thinking about how every decision we make impacts someone we care about. It's overwhelming." Mark gently took her hand, his thumb rubbing soothing circles on her palm. "I understand. But remember, this is our wedding. We need to find a way to balance everything without losing sight of what this day is really about, our love and commitment to each other." Mary nodded, appreciating his support but still feeling the internal conflict. "I just want everyone to be happy, Mark. I don't want Jennifer to be hurt, and I don't want our wedding day to be overshadowed by this decision." As the days went by, Mary tried to focus on other aspects of the wedding planning, hoping to find some respite from the emotional strain. She spent hours choosing flowers, tasting cakes, and finalizing the guest list. But even these tasks, which she had once found enjoyable, felt burdened by the overarching dilemma. Her sleep was restless, her dreams filled with fragmented images of the wedding and flashes of Jennifer's pained expression. She would wake up in the middle of the night, her heart racing, and stare at the ceiling, the weight of the decision pressing down on her. Mark would often wake up too, sensing her distress, and hold her close, whispering words of comfort. Mary began to notice the strain affecting her relationship with Jennifer as well. Despite their heartfelt conversation and the agreement to find a new song, there was a subtle tension between them. Their interactions, once effortless and filled with warmth, now carried an unspoken heaviness. Mary worried that no matter what song they chose, the memory of the original choice would linger, a silent reminder of the emotional turmoil they had navigated. At a family brunch, Mary observed Jennifer from across the room. She noticed the slight tightness in Jennifer's smile and the way her eyes would occasionally glaze over, lost in thought. It pained Mary to see her stepsister struggling, and she couldn't help but feel responsible. The strain of trying to balance her own happiness with Jennifer's well-being was taking its toll. One evening, seeking solace, Mary went for a long walk in the neighborhood park. The cool breeze and rustling leaves provided a brief escape from the whirlwind of emotions. She sat on a bench, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, and allowed herself to cry. The tears flowed freely, carrying with them the weight of her worries and fears. As she sat there, a realization began to take shape. Mary understood that the strain she was feeling was not just about the song, but about her deep desire to protect those she loved. She wanted to create a wedding day that honored her relationship with Mark while also respecting the emotional journeys of her family. It was a delicate balance, and she was determined to find a way to achieve it. Returning home, Mary felt a renewed sense of resolve. She knew that feeling the strain was part of the process, a testament to how much she cared. She was determined to navigate this emotional landscape with grace and compassion, knowing that the love she and Mark shared would guide them through. That night, as Mary and Mark lay in bed, she turned to him, her voice filled with quiet determination. "Mark, we're going to get through this. We'll find a way to make our wedding day special for everyone. I believe in us." Mark smiled, pulling her close. "I believe in us too, Em. We'll make it work, together." As they drifted off to sleep, Mary felt the strain begin to lift, replaced by a sense of purpose and unity. She knew that the journey ahead would still be challenging, but she was ready to face it, hand in hand with the man she loved. The weeks leading up to the wedding were a whirlwind of final preparations, yet amid the excitement, Mary found herself continually grappling with deeper questions about empathy and understanding. She had always considered herself an empathetic person, but this situation with Jennifer was testing the very limits of her compassion. One evening, after a particularly long day of wedding planning, Mary sat alone in her living room. The soft glow of the lamp cast a warm light, creating a quiet sanctuary where she could finally reflect. She picked up her journal and began to write, hoping to untangle the complex emotions that had been swirling within her. As she wrote, Mary recalled a conversation she had had with her grandmother years ago. Her grandmother, wise and gentle, had always been a source of comfort and guidance. Mary remembered asking her what the most important quality in a person was. Her grandmother had smiled and said, "Empathy, my dear. The ability to truly understand and share the feelings of another. It's what connects us as human beings." Mary had always tried to live by those words, but now she questioned whether she was truly embodying that principle. She thought about Jennifer, about the unimaginable pain of losing the life she had dreamed of with Jimmy. The song, "Come What May," was a bittersweet reminder of a love that had been both beautiful and tragically brief. Was it fair for Mary to use that song for her own joyous occasion, knowing the sorrow it would bring to her stepsister? Her thoughts drifted to the countless moments she had shared with Jennifer, from childhood mischief to teenage heart-to-hearts. They had always been close, their bond forged by shared experiences and mutual support. Mary felt a pang of guilt, wondering if her desire to hold onto the song was overshadowing her empathy for Jennifer's grief. The next day, Mary decided to seek counsel from someone she deeply respected, her therapist, Dr. Reynolds. She scheduled an appointment and arrived at the cozy office, the familiar scent of lavender and the soothing sound of a water fountain instantly calming her nerves. Dr. Reynolds greeted her warmly, and they settled into the comfortable chairs facing each other. Mary took a deep breath and began to share her dilemma, detailing the significance of the song for both her and Jennifer and the emotional turmoil it had caused. After listening intently, Dr. Reynolds leaned forward, her expression thoughtful. "Emily, it's clear that you're facing a challenging situation. Empathy is not always easy, especially when it conflicts with our own desires. But it's important to consider the impact of our actions on those we care about." Mary nodded, feeling a sense of relief as she voiced her concerns. "I just don't want to hurt Jennifer, but I also want our wedding to reflect our love story. How do I balance that? Dr. Reynolds smiled gently. Empathy is about finding that balance. It's about understanding Jennifer's pain and honoring it, while also celebrating your own joy. It might mean making compromises, but it's those very compromises that show the depth of your compassion and love. Mary left the session feeling a renewed sense of clarity. She realized that empathy didn't mean sacrificing her own happiness, but rather finding a way to include Jennifer in her joy. She decided to have another conversation with Jennifer, this time with an open heart and a clear mind. That evening, Mary invited Jennifer over for tea. They sat on the porch, the sun setting in a blaze of colors, casting a serene glow over the garden. Mary took a deep breath and spoke from the heart. Jennifer, I've been thinking a lot about everything we've discussed. I want you to know that I truly understand the significance of come what may for you and Jimmy. I don't want our wedding to be a source of pain for you. Jennifer listened, her eyes softening with understanding. Emily, thank you. I know how much that song means to you and Mark. It's a beautiful choice, but I appreciate you considering my feelings. Mary reached out and took Jennifer's hand, a gesture of solidarity and love. I want us to find a new song together, something that can be special for Mark and me, but also respects your memories. I want you to be a part of our joy, not reminded of your sorrow. Tears welled up in Jennifer's eyes as she nodded. I'd love that, Emily. It means the world to me that you care so much. In that moment, Mary felt a profound sense of peace. She realized that true empathy was about connection, about understanding and supporting each other through life's highs and lows. By choosing to honor Jennifer's feelings, she was strengthening their bond and creating a foundation of love and compassion that would last a lifetime. As they sipped their tea and talked about potential songs, Mary felt the weight of her dilemma lift. She knew that whatever song they chose, it would be perfect because it would be chosen with empathy and love. And that, she realized, was the true essence of their wedding day, a celebration of love in all its beautiful, complex forms. As the wedding day approached, Mary found herself increasingly drawn to understanding the depths of Jennifer's grief. She realized that to truly empathize, she needed to fully grasp the magnitude of Jennifer's loss. This understanding would not only help her make the right decision about the song, but also strengthen the bond between them. One rainy afternoon, Mary decided to visit the nursing home where Jimmy resided. She had never been there before, feeling it was a space too private, too filled with sorrow for her to intrude. But now, she felt a compelling need to witness firsthand the life that Jennifer faced every day. She called Jennifer to let her know she was coming, and Jennifer welcomed her visit, albeit with a touch of surprise. As Mary drove to the nursing home, she felt a mix of anxiety and determination. The sky was overcast, and raindrops pattered softly against the windshield, mirroring the somber mood of her journey. She arrived and walked through the entrance, greeted by the faint scent of antiseptic and the quiet murmur of caregivers attending to residents. Jennifer met her in the lobby, her face a mixture of gratitude and apprehension. Thank you for coming, Emily. I know this isn't easy. Mary hugged her stepsister tightly. I want to understand, Jennifer. I want to see what you go through, to feel a part of your world. They walked together through the corridors, passing rooms where elderly residents sat in quiet reflection or engaged in light activities. The atmosphere was both peaceful and heavy, a blend of tranquility and unspoken heartache. Jennifer led Marito Jimmy's room, her steps slowing as they approached the door. Inside, Jimmy sat by the window, his eyes vacant as he stared out at the rainy landscape. He looked much the same as Mary remembered him from happier times, yet there was an unmistakable change. The vibrancy, the spark that had once defined him, was now dimmed by the weight of his injuries. "Hi, Jimmy," Jennifer said softly, her voice filled with a blend of love and sorrow. She walked over and gently took his hand. "I brought Mary with me today." Jimmy's gaze shifted slowly to Emily, but there was no recognition in his eyes. Mary felt a lump form in her throat as she watched the man who had once been so full of life now lost in the fog of his condition. She stepped closer, her heart aching with empathy. "Hi, Jimmy," Mary said gently. "It's good to see you." Jennifer pulled up a chair for Emily, and they sat together, flanking Jimmy. Jennifer began to talk, recounting stories from their past, moments of joy and laughter that now felt like distant memories. Mary listened, her heart breaking as she saw the depth of Jennifer's love and the resilience that kept her going. After a while, Jennifer picked up a small speaker from the bedside table. "I usually play some music for him. It helps sometimes," she explained, her voice tinged with hope. She played "Come What May," the familiar melody filling the room. As the song played, Mary watched Jimmy's face closely. For a brief moment, there was a flicker of something in his eyes, a spark of recognition that quickly faded. It was a fleeting moment, but it spoke volumes. Mary could see how the song was a bridge to the past, a lifeline that connected Jennifer to the man she loved despite the chasm that now separated them. Tears welled up in Mary's eyes as she felt the full weight of Jennifer's experience. The song was not just a painful reminder. It was a testament to a love that endured through the most devastating circumstances. It was a symbol of hope, of connection, and of the relentless power of love. When the song ended, Jennifer turned to Emily, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "This is why it's so hard for me, Emily. This song. It's all I have left of the life we planned. It's a link to the man he used to be, and to the love that still lingers, even if he can't show it." Mary reached out and squeezed Jennifer's hand, her voice thick with emotion. "I understand now, Jennifer. I see how much this song means to you, and I promise we'll find a new song for our wedding, one that can create new, happy memories for us, while honoring the love you and Jimmy shared." They sat in silence for a while, the rain continuing to fall outside, creating a soothing rhythm that matched the beat of their hearts. Mary felt a deep sense of connection to Jennifer, a bond strengthened by this shared moment of vulnerability and understanding. Leaving the nursing home, Mary felt a renewed sense of purpose. She had seen firsthand the depths of Jennifer's grief and the strength of her love. It was a profound reminder of the complexities of human emotion and the importance of empathy in navigating life's challenges. Mary knew that the decision to change the song was more than just a choice for the wedding. It was a commitment to honoring the intricate tapestry of love, loss, and resilience that defined their family. As she drove home, the rain began to let up, and a faint rainbow appeared on the horizon, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. In that moment, Mary felt a deep sense of peace. She knew that her wedding day would be filled with love and joy, not just for her and Mark, but for everyone who had shared in their journey. And she was ready to face it all, with empathy and understanding guiding her every step of the way. Mary couldn't shake the images from her visit to the nursing home. The sight of Jimmy, the sound of "Come What May" filling the room, and the deep, unspoken grief in Jennifer's eyes stayed with her. The past, with all its joy and sorrow, was a heavy burden that Jennifer carried every day, and now Mary felt that weight too. Back at home, Mary sat on the porch, looking out at the garden she and Mark had lovingly tended. The flowers were in full bloom, a riot of colors that seemed to mock the somberness of her thoughts. She was supposed to be planning a wedding, a celebration of love and new beginnings, but the past was ever present, casting a long shadow over her happiness. Mark joined her, handing her a cup of tea and sitting down beside her. He could see the turmoil in her eyes, the way her thoughts seemed to be a million miles away. "Penny for your thoughts?" he asked gently, his voice a soothing balm. Mary sighed, taking a sip of the warm tea. "I can't stop thinking about Jennifer and Jimmy. Seeing them today, feeling the weight of what they've been through. It's so overwhelming." Mark nodded, his expression thoughtful. "The past can be incredibly heavy. But remember, Emily, our wedding is about celebrating our future too. We can honor the past while looking forward to the life we're building together." Mary appreciated his words, but the emotional burden remained. She thought back to all the moments that had led them here, the experiences that had shaped their lives and their love. For Jennifer, "Come What May" was a poignant reminder of a love that was lost but not forgotten, a love that still lingered in the corners of her heart despite the passage of time. The song was a symbol of Jennifer's journey, from the height of joy on her wedding day to the depths of despair following Jimmy's accident. It encapsulated the dreams they had shared, the promises they had made, and the future that was cruelly snatched away. Each note, each lyric, was a thread in the tapestry of their past, woven with both love and pain. As Mary reflected on this, she realized that the weight of the past was not something to be dismissed lightly. It was a part of who they were, shaping their identities and influencing their decisions. The past held valuable lessons, moments of joy and sorrow that had carved paths through their lives. Ignoring it would be a disservice to the people they had become. One evening, as Mary was going through old photo albums, she stumbled upon pictures of Jennifer and Jimmy's wedding. The joy on their faces was unmistakable, their smiles radiant with hope and love. Mary traced the edges of the photographs with her fingers, feeling a deep sense of reverence for those moments. She saw Jennifer's laughter, Jimmy's adoring gaze, and the pure happiness that had enveloped them. The past held so much weight because it was filled with genuine, heartfelt moments that had left indelible marks on their souls. Mary understood now that to honor Jennifer's past was to acknowledge the profound impact it had on her present. It wasn't about erasing memories, but about respecting the journey that had brought them all to this point. Mary decided to visit her parents, seeking their wisdom and perspective. Her mother greeted her with a warm hug, sensing the turmoil in her daughter's heart. They sat together in the living room, the familiar comfort of home providing a safe space for Mary to unburden herself. "Mom," Mary began, her voice trembling, "I've been thinking a lot about Jennifer and the song. I visited Jimmy, and seeing him, it made everything so much more real. The weight of their past is so heavy, and I don't know how to balance it with our future." Her mother listened patiently, her eyes filled with understanding. "Emily, the past is indeed heavy, but it's also a part of our foundation. It's what shapes us, teaches us, and prepares us for what's to come. Honoring Jennifer's past doesn't mean we can't celebrate your future. It's about finding a way to hold both with grace." Mary's father, who had been quietly listening, added, "Your wedding is a celebration of love, not just between you and Mark, but within the entire family. By acknowledging Jennifer's pain and making space for her memories, you're showing the true depth of your love and empathy. That's what makes your bond so special." Their words resonated deeply with Emily. She realized that the weight of the past could coexist with the promise of the future. It wasn't about choosing one over the other, but about weaving them together into a richer, more nuanced tapestry of life. With this newfound understanding, Mary returned home and shared her thoughts with Mark. They decided to include a special moment in their wedding ceremony to honor Jennifer and Jimmy's love. It was a gesture that acknowledged the past while embracing the future, a symbol of the interconnectedness of their lives. On the day of the wedding, as they stood before their loved ones, Mary felt a profound sense of peace. The ceremony included a beautiful tribute to Jennifer and Jimmy, a moment of reflection that brought tears to many eyes. It was a reminder that love, in all its forms, was resilient and enduring. As Mary and Mark danced to their new song, surrounded by the warmth and support of their family and friends, she felt the weight of the past lift, replaced by the joy and hope of the future. It was a perfect balance, a harmonious blend of all that had been and all that was yet to come. In that moment, Mary knew that they had made the right decision. The past, with all its weight, had been honored and respected, allowing them to step into their future with hearts full of love and compassion. As the wedding day drew nearer, the emotional conflict within Mary grew more intense. The weight of the decision about the first dance song loomed large, creating a rift in her usually serene and joyful demeanor. The inner turmoil was palpable, and Mary felt caught between two powerful forces, her deep love for Mark and her profound empathy for Jennifer. One evening, Mary sat alone in the dim light of the living room, a cup of tea growing cold in her hands. She stared out the window at the darkening sky, the twilight shadows mirroring the conflicting emotions within her. She had always dreamed of her wedding day as a beacon of joy and love, but now, it seemed overshadowed by the complexity of human relationships and the pain that often accompanied them. Mary's mind drifted back to her childhood, to the moments she and Jennifer had shared. They had been more than just stepsisters. They had been confidants and best friends. She remembered their late-night talks, the secrets whispered under the covers, and the dreams they had spun together about the future. It was in these memories that Mary found the root of her conflict. How could she fully embrace her own happiness knowing it might deepen Jennifer's sorrow? She knew Mark sensed her distress. He had been her rock throughout this entire process, always patient and understanding. But even his unwavering support couldn't dispel the storm raging in her heart. She needed to find a way to reconcile her desire for a perfect wedding with the empathy she felt for Jennifer's pain. Mary decided to take a walk to clear her head. The cool evening air was refreshing, and she found herself wandering to a small park nearby. The park was quiet, the paths lined with blooming flowers, and the soft rustle of leaves creating a peaceful ambience. She sat on a bench, the distant sounds of children playing fading into the background as she lost herself in thought. The conflict seemed insurmountable. On one hand, Come What May was a song that encapsulated her love story with Mark. It was their anthem, a melody that spoke of enduring love and commitment. Changing it felt like giving up a piece of their story, a sacrifice she was reluctant to make. On the other hand, Jennifer's pain was undeniable. The song was a living reminder of her lost love, a love that had been beautiful and tragically interrupted. Mary couldn't bear the thought of causing her stepsister more heartache, especially on a day that was supposed to be filled with joy and celebration. As she sat in the park, Mary's phone buzzed with a message. It was from Jennifer. She hesitated for a moment before opening it, her heart heavy with anticipation. "Hey Emily, I just wanted to thank you again for understanding and being so considerate. I know this isn't easy for you, and I appreciate it more than I can say. Love, Jennifer. Tears welled up in Mary's eyes as she read the message. Jennifer's words, filled with gratitude and love, were a stark reminder of the bond they shared. The conflict within her seemed to crystallize, becoming clearer in the light of Jennifer's kindness. Mary realized that the emotional conflict she was experiencing was not just about the song. It was about the deeper values that underpinned her relationships: love, empathy, and understanding. She understood now that her wedding day was not just about her and Mark. It was about their families, their histories, and the love that bound them all together. Determined to resolve the conflict, Mary returned home and sat down with Mark. She shared her thoughts, her fears, and the clarity she had found. Mark listened, his eyes filled with love and compassion. "Emily," he said softly, "we'll find a way to make this work. Our wedding is about celebrating our love, but it's also about honoring the people who have been part of our journey. We can choose a new song, one that tells our story in a different way." Together, they began to explore other options, listening to countless songs late into the night. They laughed, reminisced, and even danced around the living room, finding joy in the simple act of being together. It was a reminder of why they were getting married in the first place: their love, their commitment, and their ability to face challenges side by side. Eventually, they found a song that felt perfect. It wasn't "Come What May," but it captured the essence of their relationship and their future together. It was a song of hope, of new beginnings, and of the love that would carry them through whatever came their way. Mary felt a sense of peace settle over her. The emotional conflict, while still present, no longer felt insurmountable. She had made a choice that honored both her love for Mark and her empathy for Jennifer. It was a choice that reflected the complexity of human emotions and the strength of the bonds they shared. As the wedding day approached, Mary knew there would still be moments of difficulty, but she felt ready to face them. She had navigated the emotional conflict with grace and compassion, and she was ready to step into the future with a heart full of love and understanding. On the day of the wedding, as she stood with Mark, ready to take their first dance to the new song, Mary felt the weight of the past lift. The emotional conflict had given way to a deeper appreciation for the love that surrounded them, and as they danced, the world seemed to fade away, leaving only the music, their love, and the promise of a beautiful future together. The days leading up to the wedding were filled with an array of emotions for Emily. The tension that had once clouded her mind began to clear as she and Mark approached a decision that would honor both their love story and Jennifer's deep connection to Come What May. It was a journey of introspection, love, and compromise, culminating in a choice that felt both right and meaningful. Mary and Mark had spent countless evenings discussing the issue, their conversations often stretching late into the night. They shared their hopes, fears, and dreams, ensuring that every aspect of their decision was thoughtfully considered. Each discussion brought them closer, reinforcing the strength of their relationship and their commitment to making their wedding day special for everyone involved. One evening, as they sat together on their porch, the stars twinkling above them, Mary felt a surge of clarity. She turned to Mark, her eyes reflecting the starlight and the depth of her resolve. "Mark," she began, her voice steady and filled with conviction, "I think we need to change the song. It's not just about us anymore. It's about our family, our friends, and especially Jennifer. I want our wedding to be a celebration of love, not a source of pain." Mark nodded, his expression one of understanding and support. "I agree, Emily. Our love story is about more than a single song. It's about the choices we make together, the challenges we overcome, and the way we support each other and those we care about." With this newfound determination, Mary and Mark decided to enlist the help of their closest friends and family to find a new song. They organized a small gathering at their home, inviting those who had been part of their journey from the beginning. The atmosphere was one of warmth and camaraderie, filled with laughter, shared memories, and a mutual desire to make the wedding day perfect. Mary's living room was soon filled with a variety of musical suggestions, each one carefully chosen to reflect the essence of their relationship. Friends and family took turns playing their recommendations, explaining why they believed the song would be a fitting choice. The room was alive with the sounds of music and heartfelt conversations, a testament to the love and support that surrounded Mary and Mark. As the evening progressed, one song stood out among the rest. It was a beautiful, timeless melody that spoke of enduring love and the promise of a future together. The lyrics resonated deeply with Mary and Mark, capturing the essence of their journey and their commitment to each other. It wasn't "Come What May," but it felt perfect in its own right. Mary glanced at Jennifer, who was sitting quietly in the corner, a gentle smile on her face. Their eyes met, and in that moment, Mary knew they had made the right choice. The new song was a symbol of their ability to adapt, to grow, and to find joy even in the midst of difficult decisions. It was a reflection of their empathy and their unwavering bond. With the decision made, a sense of peace settled over the room. Mary and Mark felt a weight lift from their shoulders, replaced by a renewed sense of excitement and anticipation for their wedding day. They had navigated a challenging emotional landscape with grace and compassion, and they were ready to celebrate their love surrounded by the people who mattered most. On the day of the wedding, the air was filled with a palpable sense of joy and love. The venue was beautifully decorated, every detail carefully curated to reflect the uniqueness of Mary and Mark's relationship. As the guests gathered, there was an undeniable feeling of unity and support, a collective anticipation for the moment when Mary and Mark would take their first dance. When the time came, Mary and Mark stepped onto the dance floor, the new song beginning to play softly in the background. The room fell silent, all eyes on the couple as they swayed to the music, their movements perfectly in sync. The melody wrapped around them, a gentle embrace that spoke of love, commitment, and the journey they had shared. As they danced, Mary glanced at Jennifer, who watched with tears in her eyes and a smile on her face. Mary knew that they had made the right decision, one that honored both their future and the complexities of their past. The song was a new chapter, a fresh start, and a testament to the love that had brought them all together. The decision to change the song had been a difficult one, but it was a choice that underscored the depth of Mary and Mark's empathy and their commitment to each other. It was a reminder that love was not just about personal happiness, but about understanding and supporting those we care about. As they continued to dance, the world around them seemed to fade away, leaving only the music, their love, and the promise of a beautiful future together. In that moment, Mary felt a profound sense of fulfillment. They had faced a challenging decision with courage and compassion, and the result was a wedding day that was truly perfect in every way. The new song, chosen with care and consideration, was a symbol of their journey and the love that would carry them forward into the next chapter of their lives. In the final days before the wedding, Mary felt a deep sense of tranquility. The emotional journey she had embarked on had brought her to a place of profound understanding and peace. The decision to change the first dance song was not just an act of kindness, but a testament to the compassion that defined her relationship with Mark and the love they shared with their family and friends. One sunny afternoon, Mary decided to visit Jennifer, wanting to share the news of their decision in person. She drove to Jennifer's house, feeling a mix of anticipation and hope. The sunlight streamed through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the road, and Mary felt a sense of calm settle over her. When she arrived, Jennifer greeted her with a warm smile, though there was a hint of curiosity in her eyes. They sat together in the living room, the comfortable familiarity of the space putting Mary at ease. She took a deep breath and began to speak, her voice steady and filled with emotion. "Jennifer," Mary began, "Mark and I have made a decision about the first dance song. We've decided to choose a new song, one that will allow us to create new memories without causing any pain. We did this because we love you, and we want you to be a part of our joy, not reminded of your sorrow." Jennifer's eyes filled with tears, and she reached out to take Mary's hand. "Thank you, Emily. That means so much to me. I know how much what may meant to you and Mark. This decision, it shows how much you care. I can't tell you how grateful I am." Mary squeezed Jennifer's hand, her heart swelling with love and relief. It wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one. Our wedding is about celebrating our love, but it's also about honoring the people we care about. You've been such an important part of my life, and I want you to share in our happiness." Jennifer nodded, her tears flowing freely now. "You've always had such a big heart, Emily. Your compassion and understanding, it's what makes you so special. I'm so happy for you and Mark, and I'm honored to be a part of your wedding." They sat together, their bond strengthened by the journey they had shared. The act of choosing compassion had brought them closer, healing old wounds and forging new connections. Mary felt a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing that their decision had been guided by love and empathy. In the days that followed, Mary and Mark finalized their plans for the wedding. The new song they had chosen became a symbol of their journey, a melody that spoke of hope, resilience, and the enduring power of love. They felt a renewed sense of excitement and anticipation, ready to step into the next chapter of their lives with open hearts. The morning of the wedding dawned bright and clear, the sky a brilliant shade of blue. As Mary prepared for the ceremony, she felt a sense of calm and contentment. Surrounded by her closest friends and family, she knew that the day would be filled with love and joy. When the ceremony began, Mary walked down the aisle with a radiant smile, her heart overflowing with happiness. She saw Mark waiting for her at the altar, his eyes shining with love and devotion. As they exchanged vows, the depth of their commitment was evident in every word, a promise to support and cherish each other through all of life's challenges. When it was time for the first dance, Mary and Mark took to the floor, their hands clasped tightly together. The new song began to play, a beautiful melody that encapsulated their love and the journey they had taken to get here. As they danced, the world seemed to fade away, leaving only the music, their love, and the warmth of the moment. Mary glanced around the room, seeing the smiles and tears of their loved ones. She saw Jennifer, standing with a look of pure joy on her face, and felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. The decision to choose compassion had not only made their wedding day more meaningful, but had also strengthened the bonds of love and family. As the song played on, Mary and Mark moved in perfect harmony, their steps a reflection of the deep connection they shared. The music filled the room, a testament to the power of love and the beauty of compassion. It was a moment that encapsulated everything they had hoped for and more. In the days and weeks that followed, Mary and Mark looked back on their wedding day with fondness and pride. They knew that the choice they had made, guided by empathy and love, had set the tone for their future together. It was a reminder that true happiness came from understanding and supporting those we care about, even when it required difficult decisions. Their journey was just beginning, and they faced it with hearts full of love and compassion. The memories of their wedding day, and the choice they had made, would always be a source of strength and inspiration, a testament to the power of choosing compassion in all aspects of life. The wedding day dawned with a promise of new beginnings. Mary and Mark stood at the threshold of a life filled with love, commitment, and shared dreams. As the morning sun bathed their surroundings in a golden glow, there was an air of anticipation and excitement. This day was not just a celebration of their love, but the start of a journey that would define the rest of their lives. Mary awoke with a sense of calm. She felt the quiet confidence that comes from knowing she had navigated the complexities of planning a wedding with compassion and grace. Her room was filled with the soft murmur of voices and laughter as her closest friends and family helped her prepare. The scent of fresh flowers mingled with the warm aroma of morning coffee, creating a comforting cocoon of love and support. As she stood before the mirror, her mother fastening the delicate lace of her wedding gown, Mary's thoughts drifted to the path that had led her here. She remembered the doubts and the difficult decisions, the moments of joy and the tears shed in the quiet of the night. Each experience had shaped her, molding her into the woman she was today. The reflection in the mirror was not just a bride, but a testament to resilience, empathy, and love. Downstairs, Mark was similarly lost in thought. He stood with his best man, adjusting his tie and taking deep breaths. He felt the weight of the day, not as a burden, but as a beautiful responsibility. The journey to this moment had been marked by growth and understanding, and he was ready to embrace it fully. Mark glanced at the small, handwritten vows in his pocket, a promise of love and commitment he was eager to share with Emily. The ceremony was held in a picturesque garden, a riot of colors as flowers bloomed in full splendor. Guests arrived, their faces alight with smiles and anticipation. As they took their seats, a hush fell over the crowd, the serene beauty of the setting amplifying the significance of the moment. Mary walked down the aisle, her heart beating in time with the soft music that played. Each step felt like a bridge from her past to her future, a journey of love and understanding that had led her to this point. She saw Mark waiting for her, his eyes filled with emotion, and she knew that this was exactly where she was meant to be. Their vows were a symphony of love, each word a testament to their journey and their promise for the future. They spoke of the challenges they had faced and the strength they had found in each other. They vowed to support one another, to choose love and compassion in every moment, and to build a life filled with joy and understanding. When it came time for the first dance, there was a collective breath of anticipation. Mary and Mark stepped onto the dance floor, their hands clasped tightly together. The new song they had chosen began to play, a melody that spoke of hope, renewal, and the promise of a beautiful future. As they danced, Mary felt a sense of liberation. The decision to change the song had been a journey in itself, one marked by empathy and love. Now, as they moved in harmony, she felt the weight of that decision lift, replaced by the lightness of new beginnings. The music enveloped them, a reminder that their love was resilient and strong, capable of weathering any storm. The guests watched with smiles and tears, moved by the beauty of the moment. Jennifer stood near the front, her heart swelling with pride and joy. The compassion Mary and Mark had shown had transformed a potential source of pain into a celebration of love. It was a new chapter for all of them, one marked by understanding and mutual respect. As the song ended, the room erupted in applause, the sound a joyous affirmation of the journey Mary and Mark had taken. They stood together, surrounded by the love and support of their family and friends, knowing that this was just the beginning. Their lives stretched out before them, a canvas waiting to be filled with the colors of their shared experiences. In the days that followed, Mary and Mark settled into their new life with a sense of purpose and joy. They carried the lessons of their wedding day with them, a reminder that love was a choice made every day, in big moments and small gestures. Their home became a haven of laughter and warmth, a place where compassion and understanding were the cornerstones of their relationship. Mary continued to nurture her bond with Jennifer, their connection deepened by the journey they had shared. They found solace in their shared memories and joy in creating new ones. The decision to change the song had been a catalyst for growth, a testament to the strength of their family and the power of empathy. As the seasons changed, Mary and Mark faced life's challenges with resilience and love. They celebrated their milestones and supported each other through hardships, always remembering the promise they had made on their wedding day. Their love story was one of compassion and understanding, a testament to the beauty of new beginnings. In quiet moments, Mary would reflect on their journey, the choices they had made, and the love that had guided them. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for the path they had walked and the future that lay ahead. Each day was a new beginning, a chance to choose love, and a reminder that their journey was just beginning. With each step they took together, Mary and Mark embraced the promise of a life filled with love, compassion, and endless possibilities. Their story was a celebration of new beginnings, a testament to the enduring power of love, and a reminder that the most beautiful journeys are those walked hand in hand. In the end, Mary's wedding was a beautiful celebration of love, not just for her and Mark, but for the entire family. By choosing compassion, they created a memory that honored both the past and the future.